Ooh, that looks tasty.
Welcome, folks. Today, the Hungry Gamer is back with another playthrough. And today, we are doing a playthrough of EverWyrd. And this is a game that I've done a preview of, and I enjoyed it. And after that, I offered up a playthrough video, and I need to tell you now that this is something that I have been paid for to do the playthrough of this quest. So do keep that in mind. So what I have is I have one of the quests from the new and updated quest book. And what I'll be doing is I'll be taking through my two heroes here. I have the mighty Seed Warrior, Val, and then the mightiest of Canis warriors, the mighty, the powerful Bob. And what I have done is I've played with them a few times, so they're not level 1, they're a little bit leveled up. Val here has the ability to cast spells and has found a single piece of treasure, this red word stone, which gives her an additional spell. And I had the spell Pain if you watched the review, though there were some oddities with the language on that, and that spell is actually being reworked. So just now I redrew, and now I have Firestorm, which seems more appropriate for a redstone. Anyway, in addition, I have the ability to teleport. I have the ability to enlighten, which will reveal anything hidden in the location that I'm in, and I have a lightning spell. Since I did the preview, Val has also gained the ability to use herbs and to craft potions with alchemy, which goes very well with the fact that there is a new table of things that you can craft. Meanwhile, Bob is just exactly what he looks like. He's carrying some booze to heal himself up a little bit, make him a little bit dumber, and he's incredibly strong, and he has the ability to wield dual axes, though I've kind of reflavored it to be dual claws here, but I'm using the stats of an axe and purchased axes for him. With that, this is what this quest is. It's a two-parter, and I have been hired by a fence who is having issues with an up-and-coming rival, which the issue is not so much that there's another fence in town. The issue is that this fence has been sending an assassin out to kill clients. And so that is clearly a bit of a problem. And so I've been hired to go out, find this assassin, and take out the assassin. And I need money. I need to eat. Bob eats a lot, so we're going to go on in and we are going to see if we can't settle this. Here I have the dungeon already set up. My cubes here are marking my doors. I've already pre-rolled if they are locked or not, and the red ones are locked doors and the purple ones are unlocked doors. And to complete the first part, I have to venture through the dungeon and go down the stairs. Here we go. I'm just going to dive right in. And I'm playing this out kind of with the idea that I was given a map of these tunnels, so I know the layout. I don't know what's ahead of me as far as traps and all that goes, but I do have an idea, so that's kind of my imagining of why it's all set out and why maybe I would head this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over here because I want to know if there's anything in here that I can use, because there might be something useful, there might be treasure, there might just be monsters, who knows. I'm going to start out with Val. She has a speed of 6, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, and as soon as I get to here, I have to deal with a trap. And so what I'm going to do, this is early on, is I'm going to cast Enlighten. I'm just going to cast it, and I'm going to know that the trap is there. I'm going to find it right away. So I have 2 more castings of that particular spell. And so I'll take my trap here, and it is Poison Gas. It's going to be an 8 for me to disarm this. The wall is perfectly concealed, tiny pores that release poison gas into the space. The gas will continue to do so 1 damage per round until cured or until 6 rounds have passed. That is fairly nasty. But I know it's there already, so now I'm going to attempt to disarm it. My ability is a 3, so I need to get at least a 6 on this roll. And I got a 4. I failed to disarm it. I have set it off. Now I have to attempt to avoid it, which for me is going to be, also I need to get an 8, but I get an additional +2 because I knew the trap was there. And that is a 7 + 3, 10 + 2 more is 12. So I have managed to avoid this puff of gas that comes out into the room. Not the most auspicious of beginnings, but I will take it. And then there is a piece of treasure in the room. And so I will draw, and I have found some healing herbs, as you can see there. So that will be useful if I keep rolling like I am. And so what I'm actually going to do is, before I go any further, is I'm going to attempt to turn these herbs into a healing potion. I do have the alchemy skill, so that is my ability 3, and I'm just going to assume that this is fairly simple because these are just dried herbs, and I'm going to go ahead and say that is a difficulty of 7. And just like that, I now have a basic healing potion which will heal me for 3. And I'll just take the card and I will discard it up there. And then I will finish out my movement to there. Then I have Bob. Bob only has movement of 4, so he's just going to be making his way this way. He's going to do a double move. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and now we come to the next round, and I'm simply going to have Bob burst through the door just in case there are some monsters in that room. So, boom. Remove it right there, and I will roll on my table. I got a 4, which means that inside this room there are 3 bandits. And so I'll set my bandits in my room here. And again, I'm just using these banners from City of Kings. They are fairly easy to see. And there we have it. Each of these bandits has 6 life, a simple range of 1. And the catch here is that they will start stealthed. That is how they operate. And inside 1, 2, 3, I will move Bob in, and then we enter into our initiative. And the black is the bad guys. So they're going to go first, which is very bad news for Bob. He's going to wind up taking pretty much double damage here unless he manages to spot them. And so for their stealth roll, they get to add a +3 to this versus Bob's ability score, which is a 2. So their stealth score is a 9, and Bob knows they are there. So he will not be getting hit with the extra damage. So Bob's in there and he's shouting out about these bandits hiding in the shadows of the back, and that is the end of his turn because I don't want to run up on them. But what I will do is use my new toy, Firestorm, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So what Val's going to do is Val is going to use her ability 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to engulf this entire half of the room in flames using her Firestorm spell. And so for each I have to roll my mind ability, which for me is going to be a +3, and they are opposed with a +1. So I'll start with the purple guy here. My attack is a 9. Defeat that one. The second one, my attack is a 11 versus their defense of an 8. And the last one, my attack is a 9 versus their defense of a 10. So these two here take 3 damage as they are immediately bursting into flames. The other one manages to shake it off, ignore the attack. Now, of course, I've already cheated and I forgot that they were supposed to go first, but oh well, I'm not going to go back, and I will just make sure that the next time I actually win initiative, I will say that I have lost. Then in response, what these guys like to do is they like to attack the target with the least health, but they can't get there. So they're going to start on Bob here. 1, 2, this one's going to step up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's going to step to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one is going to step up to here. So Bob is now surrounded by these bandits, and they're all going to attack. And so when they attack with a fight of +2 versus Bob's armor of 3. All 3 of them at first. The first one is going to have a 9. And Bob defends with a 10, so he takes no damage. The second one is an 11. Excuse me, a 10. Bob will take 2 damage from that attack. And then a 5, 6, 7, and a 5, 8. So Bob only gets hurt by 1 of the 3. And I'll say for my heroes here, I'm counting up the damage as I go. So all in all, not a bad start there. Then we come back, and now it's going to be Bob's chance to show what he can do. And so Bob's just going to start right out on this guy right here who is wounded. Bob's hitting with a total of +5 on his roll versus their armor of 2. So Bob has a 9, a 14. They need boxcars to defend. Nope, he does not defend. Bob, with his dual claws and his mighty strength, just obliterates this bandit. This bandit is gone. Then Val's going to get a turn to go. Unfortunately for Val, she actually only does 1 damage on an attack, unless I use her spells, or I use some of her poison, which I don't want to do right now. So what I'm going to do for Val is, actually, I'm just going to stay right here, and I'm just going to throw a dagger. Because I don't want to get up in there, because the bad guys are going to come after me. So I'm throwing one of my 5 daggers. My attack is +3. That is a 9 versus their defense, which they defended, so the dagger goes flying, and the bandit just swipes his sword and knocks it away, and then I'm going to back off to there, let Bob kind of soak up all this damage. And then we're back to the other round, and then we're going to see if Bob can't put this other one right here that's wounded down. And here he goes. That is a 7, a 12, and they do not defend, and again, 5 more damage. Puts that one down as well. And then just to try to get this over and done with, it might be a mistake. No. So, and then again, I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I should have been here so I can throw at him. And I think I skipped the bad guy's turn, didn't I? Yes, I did. I skipped the bad guy's turn. Bob should have gotten attacked twice. I'm sorry, folks. I am just struggling here. So that is a 9 on Bob versus defense of 3, 5, 8, so he takes 2 damage from the first attack, and the second one, who is soon to be dead, is an attack of 6, and Bob manages to defend. So Bob takes 2 more damage. Then we had our second round. Now it's the third round. The bandit gets to go again, and the bandit hits for 7 versus Bob's defense of way more. Almost had a critical defense, and then we will see if Bob can't finish him off. It's +5. Oh, that's only a 9 versus a defense of 12. Going to throw another dagger, which is only a 9. And again, defended. This last bandit is proving to be very, very challenging to take out. It's coming at Bob again. Ooh, that is a critical failure, which means Bob's going to get an attack of opportunity, which I will take right now. That is an 11 versus a 12. He defends against it again. I just can't kill this guy. And here we go. Bob again with a big old hit. It's a 10, and that is also a 10 on defense. And now I'm going to move Val up to here and see if Val can't hit him in the face with her dagger. And probably not with that 7. Nope, defended again. Now Val has stepped up. Val has the lowest health. That's really what the bandit wants to attack. So the bandit hits with a 6. And Val again defends. Bob is up, adding with only a 10. That time it gets through. That is 5 damage to the bandit, putting it down to 1. And now we'll see if Val can finish it off with her +3. Again, that's only an 8. But that is enough. She finally gets the dagger through the bandit's armor, and it does go down. Now, I'm hoping that that is not how all of these combats are going to go, because that was horrible, horrible rolling. But we made it through, we succeeded. And we do search them, and we do find 1 treasure. Oh, well, some more healing herbs. So I'm going to attempt again to turn that into a potion. And Val, again, she succeeds. And I'm going to go ahead and give one of those potions to Bob. Have him drink it right now, which will heal him 3. And then he's going to drink some of his mead. He's going to drink one of those, which will heal him for 1 more life point, but it will make him have a -1 on his next mind roll. And so perhaps I should have had Bob be stealthing, because I did forget Bob does have the ability to stealth, but c'est la vie. I think he's a little more likes to smash, and he'll sneak if he has to. And so they take their time, they heal up a little bit. Bob celebrates the victory with the downing of his bottle of beer that he brought with him, and let's move on. So I don't know that that was totally worth it or not, but we shall continue on. I'm going to do a little fast forward. I'm going to just move myself back over into here. There'll be a few rounds because this is not the dungeon dive. I don't have things constantly spawning after me. And so the question that I have to decide is, do I want to go through this room? The expectation here is that there could be treasure in there. Of course, the issue is there could be monsters in there. I'm going to have to bust through this door, which means they're going to have the initiative on me. But if I do that, I can skip this long, trapped hallway. And so I'm not really sure what makes the most sense. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go with what would Bob do? And what Bob would do is clearly he would bust down this door and move on through. So we're going to move to here. Bob is just going to smash down this locked door. And so with his gauntlets and his mighty strength and all of his skills, he gets a +5 on this. He smashes that door, boom, busts it open, no problem. And then we find out what is inside this room. And this time we have 3 giant centipedes in this room. And I will tell you that there is no treasure. So basically I traded 2 traps for 3 gigantic bugs that I have to deal with. And again, I was not smart enough to try to stealth. I automatically lose the initiative because I busted down the door, and these centipedes are waiting for me, ready to go. Now the good news here is that these bugs only have a single life point. So I should be able to bust through this pretty quick. And so let's see just how it goes. 2 and 3, there they are. They get first crack. They always attack the closest, and they always want to swarm on whoever they are attacking. And all 3 of them, sorry, my things are not standing up here, have a speed of 7. So they are able to get right up on Bob's grill. Luckily for me, they only have a fight value of 2, so I should do okay. First attack is hitting for a 6, 7, 8. Bob defends easily. Second attack is a 10, 11, 12. So Bob's probably going to get hit right here. But no, he defends also with the 12. Third attack is an 11, 12, 13. Bob is probably getting hit here. 8 plus 3, 11. So Bob does take 1 damage from that last attack. So all in all, not too bad. So we're going to start and let Bob smash in here with his 5 plus 5. That's an 11. Centipedes have 0 defense. Boom. 1 down. Now, unfortunately, Val can't get in here. So I think what Val's going to do is again, I'm going to just have her step up. She's going to try to throw a dagger over Bob's shoulder and hit this other giant centipede. So her attack is a 9. And again, she misses. Clearly, Val needs to stop throwing things because she is horrible at it. Then we have the return attack from the centipedes on Bob. That is a 6, easily defended. And the second one, that is a 5. Oh my gosh. And again, easily defended. Now this time, Bob's going to move. There is no AOOs for movement, keeping the game simple. He's going to move right around over here and try to smash with a 12. And again, he does take out the second centipede. That will open things up for Val to kind of just step right into the room and skewer this bug. No, that is a critical failure, which means the centipede gets an attack of opportunity of an 11 versus her defense of 2, which is a 10. She has taken her first damage because she cannot fight. Then the centipede actually gets its turn. It will attack again on Val. That is a critical hit. Unless I can defend it against a 14, I will take double damage. I did not, so I take 2 more damage. Val is not really being very heroic right now. In turn, here comes Bob, moving around to the side with an 11. Defended! Again, I cannot kill anything, and then Val hits with a 12. And finally, we take out this other centipede. Again, I'm just not rolling well, but that is okay. So Val has taken 3 damage. She will also take her potion, that second one that I made from what I just found, and we're going to move on through this room. And so again, we will just kind of pop on up, fast forwarding a little bit, and I will go ahead and have Bob. Nope, I'm not going to have Bob open the door. I'm going to switch this around because technically I wouldn't know if there's a trap over there. So I will modus operandi have Val open the door, and she'll step out into the hall. And while she's here, she spots some herbs somewhere in the room. And so for herbology, it's just very simple. I roll my 2 dice. I rolled a 7, which means I found a single death flower. So I'll add that to her chart. Now the cool thing about the death flower is, I'm not going to stop silly, but I can grind this up and I can turn it into a sleeping powder. And I'll let her finish out her movement, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. I'm going to have Bob stop there, even though he could keep going, because I want Val, again, to keep leading the way. We'll go into this next corridor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, I find some more herbs floating around. Let's see what it is that I get. This time I rolled a 4. And a 4 is some ginseng. And I can use those to create some healing potions if I find some other herbs that can go with it. Or I could save up and try to make a potion of speed in the event. And again, Bob's going to do a double move and come join the party right next to her. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to stop there at the door. And again, there's more herbs. Apparently, I'm making my way through a overgrown section of tunnel. Now this time we have a 9. And a 9 gives me some more ginseng. So I have a whole bunch of ginseng. I'm going to go open up my own little health store. And Bob will do a double move up to here. Now we have 2 rooms back to back. So I got to get through this one, clear it out, and then get down there. Now this time, I'm going to be intelligent enough to have Bob stealth. So Bob's stealth roll is a 10. So Bob right now has a stealth of 10. And he might not get seen. Then I'm going to have Val bust open the door. She needs to get a 7. She gets +3 as she's sticking the dagger in, trying to bust out that lock, which she does easily. And inside the room there is 5, which is 3 more centipedes. So this, luckily, should be quick and easy as I try to bust on through here. And again, they do have the initiative, so they swarm. And the mistake I may have made here is they're going to swarm on Val. Unless, of course, they are aware enough to spot Bob, which I doubt that they will be, because after all, they are just bugs. Actually, I take that back. They have an ability score of 4. So with a 6, Bob will be spotted, but Bob is not spotted. And it's unfortunately a little bit of a waste because doing double damage isn't going to really do anything for me on this first attack, because 1 damage and they're all dead. But they're attacking Val with their +2. She has a defense rating of 2, so we just have a straight up dice roll. First attack is a 3. Val easily defends. Second attack is a 6, which Val critically fails. So not only does she take 1 damage there, but the centipede gets an attack of opportunity with a 7, which Val does defend. So Val takes 1 damage. And now it's retaliation time. And so now we get to watch as Val misses this attack. +3, a 10, and a 10 defense, as I said, misses. And Bob's turn with a 10. And takes this one out. Boom. This one's going to step up into the gap. And first on Val. 3. She defends. The second one on Val. a critical fail, so she gets an attack of opportunity back. 9, and that one goes down. And we'll see if Val can't finish this thing off right here. There we go. She has a 10, 0 defense rating, and it is dead. And unfortunately, because it's just bugs in the room, again, there is no treasure. So this is a little bit of a letdown as far as loot goes, but finding all of this is certainly quite useful. And again, we're going to move on in. Again, I'm going to have Bob stealth. So he has a 10 again. Val's going to try to bust open that door, which she does. Boom, door open. And inside the room, we have a 7. And so we have 3 barbarians in this room. And so clearly what's going on is we have this assassin has found a little cave hideout, and he has his lackeys with him who are out doing what they're doing. And these are clearly the tougher guards here. These other guys over here, they were probably storing some supplies and all of that. And then the reason that this assassin's hiding here is because it's just filled with monsters and nastiness. But here we are, 3 barbarians, and we will see if they spot Bob. They have an ability score of 1. They do not. So Bob's gonna pretty much wipe one out if he hits on his first attack. And each of these have 6 health. And they have a speed of 4. So they come charging around the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 behind there, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of charging right up. Now I'm going to start this out, and I'm going to use, again, another one of Val's firestorms. I'm just going to blast this part of the room and try to do 3 damage to all of them. And that will actually only leave me with 1 more use of my firestorm for this next level coming up. And luckily, they have a mind score of 0. So I get +3 on each of them, and they get a +0. So I'll start here, go 1, 2, 3. First one. Cannot defend unless he gets a boxcars, fails. This one here, again, that is an 11, does not defend, and the one in the back, I have an 11 mind attack, and he has a 7 defense, so all 3 of them don't see the flames coming, they can't figure out what the heck she is muttering about, and they take gouts of flame in the face, burning, screaming, all of that. And then we're going to let Bob just step right up here. He is stealth. They don't know he's coming. Their only hope is that his claws bounce off their armor. And he attacks at +5. That is a 16. Not even close. Knocks this barbarian's head clean off. The barbarians go, and they want revenge on Bob. They always attack the target with the most health. And they have a fight of 3, and they will do 2 damage. First one. That is only a 3 versus 3 defense. Bob defends. The second one attacks. That is a 12. Bob defends with less. So Bob does take 2 damage as this huge double-bladed axe just crashes into him, pierces through his armor, gives him a nice little gash. Bob's going to get to go again, and he will put this guy here down if he can hit. That is an 11 versus defense, only a 4. Boom! Another one down. Bob is just smashing things left and right. And I will step right up here and see if I can't poke it. That is a 10 with my dagger versus a 11 defense. I cannot get through. Then it responds in kind on Bob with a 9. Bob defends with a 12. Bob attacks. Ooh, that is a 15. That's gonna be all she wrote. And so Bob just stepped up and had no time. These barbarians had no business messing with Bob. And as Bob searches the room, as I said, these are kind of the elite guards on this floor, and he actually gets 2 treasures as he searches through. And here I found an ancient scroll that has a spell on it and a potion of speed. So I can use that, and for the next 5 turns, I will be able to go faster. So I'm going to let Bob hold on to that. He could use the speed bonus. And I'm going to now draw the scroll and see what it is that I get. And I have my thing here. It's all mixed up. These are all the spells that could be on there. And boom, Faces of Death. I'll hold that there and you can kind of read it and see what it is. Now this is not of the school that Val is used to, so she won't get the extra bonus of +1. She'll only get a +2 on her mind for it. But the cool thing with this one is I can just use it. So I cast it, and what it's going to do is it's going to scare away a foe. It'll just turn and it will bolt, it will run away. So it's not something I'm going to want to use on the assassin because I need to kill him or her, whatever it is, and it clearly isn't going to work on a bug, but other things it can potentially work out on. And then for successfully getting here, I've completed the first part of the quest. That will actually give me 2 skill points that I can use whenever I want. Now 2 skill points, being all that I have right now, isn't going to get me anything, but in the future I can use that to level up a little more. And then the last thing I'm going to do before I go down the stairs is I'm going to attempt to turn my death flower into some sleeping powder. And I'm going to operate under the assumption that this is a hard thing to do. So that is an 11 roll. My ability is +3. So I need to get at least a 9 on this, or I just wasted my flower. And I wasted the flower. I did it wrong, and I have no sleep powder, which is a shame. All right, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to go down the stairs, and I'm going to go through this second level of the dungeon. This is where the assassin has really made his hideout. And so we're going to go down there, and I'll explain it once I get it all set up. All right, so here we are down in the second level. We're heading down. We are doing our best to find this assassin and just kill it, because this assassin is just killing clients of this fence that has hired us. And to be fair, maybe you would argue that it's bad guy killing other bad guys, but killing's not cool. So to stop the killing, let's go kill him. So here we've just come down these stairs. I have Val and Bob, and I've already rolled what doors are locked, and you can see what's going on here. I did notice in the other level that perhaps I'm a little bit powerful for this. I got hurt, but I was not in any real danger of getting killed. Now, I do know that the assassin is a bit nasty, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just go straight to the assassin, which means I'm going to be sacrificing some loot, whatever might be in this room, which could be a fair amount of loot. Same thing. Well, over here, there's just a bunch of traps, so the way that was drawn, that's just a useless little path there. But this is the type of thing that if it was a kind of home game, you could establish what that might be. But that aside, let's get right to it. So we're going to start out here. We have this unlocked door. So I'm going to move straight ahead. I'm going to start with Bob. And I'm going to have Bob go straight ahead, but I'm going to have him stealth first. So he's going to enter stealth, which is only a 7. So that's actually not very good. He thinks he is super stealthy as he is making his own sneaking theme music as he's moving ahead. You know, Bob's not the smartest guy, and he is still drunk from drinking his beer upstairs. Anyhow, so here he goes. He steps up, opens the door, and let's see what we have inside. Oh, we have a 7. That's going to be some bad guy. Yes, it is another 3 barbarians. Clearly, the 3 barbarians up the stairs were kind of the advanced party heading out to do some kind of horrible thing. And we've opened this door and we have surprised these 3. However, if you recall, at the beginning, I lost the initiative and then promptly acted like I won. So I'm going to give the barbarians the initiative right now and just call it even. Well, I guess I should roll. If I lose, they'll still get it. And, oh, both 6s. And so I won the initiative, but I will give it to them because I cheated the last time. So these barbarians, they're at the back of the room. They look up. They see Bob is holding on to a little potion bottle that clearly they recognize as their friends. They roar in rage. They raise their clubs and axes, and they are moving ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll do a double move up to there. He'll do the same thing, but he'll get all the way to Bob, and he will also get all the way up here. So now, again, all three of them are mobbing Bob. Again, their preference is to attack a target with the most hit points as barbarians. And that is what they do. Now, what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to start out, and I'm going to use on one of these barbarians, I'm going to use this Faces of Death, this new spell that I found on this scroll. And I'm going to use it, and it just goes off. It just happens. It's not an opposed roll. And if the barbarian fails with his mind roll of 0 against a challenge of an 8, he will turn and run away. And so as I imagine, he sees this demon just pop up right here, and it'll panic and just turn and run right up the stairs and run out, never to be seen again. And I'm sure this barbarian will turn around his life and become a monk and brew delightful beer for the rest of his days. So here we go, +0, it needs an 8. It needs to beat an 8, excuse me. Did not beat an 8, so this barbarian takes off. Gone, and I have 4 uses of that spell left. That went really well. Then Bob's up. Bob is, I did not roll to see if they noticed Bob, which I should have done. He has a 7, so they don't know he's there. So I actually need to adjust this and put them both in front of Val like that. They're both coming at Val because they don't see Bob. How they miss Bob as he stands there and he's doing his sneaking music, I don't know. But Bob is up. He gets a +5 versus their armor of 1. So here we go. So that is a 15 for Bob. That is a 6 for them. They take double damage because he is hidden, which means he is doing a total of 10 damage. He literally just smashes that claw through the barbarian's chest, skewers his heart, and he will save that for later. And that is it for him. And then the other one is going to take a step over here to Bob, because Bob is really who he wants now that he saw that, and he takes his attack. That is a 9 + 3, that is a 12 versus Bob's defense of 3. And Bob actually defends, just kind of clinks off his armor there. And then we're back up to the top of the round, and we will have Val, when I have her go first, I'm going to have her just kind of move around here. It doesn't matter gameplay, but just kind of thematic, kind of get from both sides and attack with a +3. That is an 11. And that is 1 damage on this guy here. Whoops, which puts them down to 5. I didn't set that earlier. And then if Bob manages to hit, that'll be all that she wrote for this fight. And that is a 10 versus a defense of 8. That's 5 damage. 2 for 1 gauntlet. Because he has double axes or double gauntlet in this place, it becomes another +2, so that is 4. And then 1 more for his mighty blow that he gets for being the beast that he is. Boom. Just like that, we are done. And we will quickly search those bodies, and we will find some steel arrows, which are useless to me at the moment, and another potion of speed. Apparently, that is kind of how these barbarians operate. So I will give Bob again the potion of speed, and the steel arrows I will just hold on to because nobody has a bow. Then we will move ahead. It's kind of going to advance again to the end, a couple of rounds ahead, and we are going to, again, rinse and repeat. I'm going to send Bob back into stealth. He's starting up his sneaking music. And oh boy, he is sneaking very loudly with a total of a 6 right now. And we will let them open the door, which is just a corridor, so nothing is actually going to happen there. But continuing with Bob and Val sneaking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And Bob will stop there. Now, this stone bridge here is special to this scenario, and let me read you what it says about the stone bridge. Upon approaching the stone bridge, all heroes need to find a way to cross as the bridge is broken. They'll need to complete ability tasks versus hard difficulty. Each failure will result in the loss of 2 life points, but after 3 failed attempts, the difficulty drops to normal difficulty. So that means we are talking about a 9 on an ability check for them to pretty much kind of step out there onto that. And so I'm assuming that I do that first, then I deal with the trap on the bridge. This is really kind of a nasty setup. So let me just shuffle this up, and I'll put trap there for after we kind of get past this first broken flagstone. And so we'll start out, we'll have Val go first. She has a +3. I need to get at least a 10 total. Boom! Like that. She turns a flip, jumps over it, and because that was a hard task, she actually earns a single skill point for doing that. And I'll pop her right to here. I should have cast my Enlighten, but I didn't, so that was dumb. And let's check out the trap here. Cube Fall. A shaft in the ceiling above a grate on the floor. Above the ceiling awaits an acidic cube. The cube causes poison, dealing damage each round for 4 rounds. It is a medium. There is no bonus. So first I need a 7 to detect it. I get a +3 on this. So that is a 9, a 12. So I know it's there. I see it. And as I turn my flip, I'm jumping over this busted flagstone. I see this thing up there. I'm going to reach up and see if I can't swat the lever to stop it. And disarm it, it is an easy disarm, which is a 7 to do it. And boom, I do that, no problem. Easily managed that trap. Excellent. Now, Bob has to try to get his way over that, and he's a bit more lumbery. He only has an ability of 2. And I'll move her forward a little bit to the edge. And so Bob's just gonna try to stick his big old paw out and just kind of step over it like a little kid crossing a rocky stream or something. And that is a 6 +2, 7, 8. That is a fail. So Bob takes 2 damage. He's up to 5 damage now. As he kind of steps, he slips and he falls, bangs his shin on it, but he is okay. He's gonna try it again this time. This time you start with the other leg. That is a 7, 8, 9. That does not beat the difficulty. So again, he slips, he falls. This time he slams his elbow on the wall. Bob is getting pissed off. This time he's just gonna try and jump it. And that time he does it. Boom, and he'll make his way over there, which means he too gets a single skill point. So both of them have 3. There's nothing I can really purchase with that right now, but if I do manage to succeed in this quest, I'll be able to buy some stuff. And again, we're gonna move on into this other room here. And again, with our map, we know that's where he's waiting. And as soon as she shows up, she notices some plants sticking out of the flagstones or whatever it is. And that's a 7. And I have managed to find myself another death flower. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try again versus that difficulty 9 to see if I can't turn this into some sleeping powder. I'm going to stop, pull out my little mortar and pestle, and see if I can't do it. Nope, not even close. Not even close. I don't even know why I wrote Death Flower down. And again, I do need to point out that I'm playing a little fast and loose with the rounds here because I'm not having to stop to heal, and because this is not the dungeon dive mode, there's not kind of wandering monsters all over the place. So do keep that in mind as I'm kind of going through here. And then again, we're set again, and this time, I'm not going to forget, and Val is going to use her Enlighten, which I believe is her last one, and she will spot this next trap as soon as she steps in. So let's shuffle them up and see what we get. Oh, and we have the cube fall again. So I've spotted it. Apparently it's just kind of what they do here, and She sees it, she's going to kind of grab a rock and try to toss it up in there and kind of jam that hole. That is a 7. That is 8, 9, 10 with my ability. That is easily disarmed, like it's nothing. So here we are. We will make our way all the way to the edge here. We know that in that room is the assassin. That is the target of our quest here. And so odds are he's going to have some people in there to help him fight, but we're going to bust down this door and we're going to see what's back there. So we're going to let Bob do it. So Bob's going to, boom, easily smashes down the door. Does it the Shining style. Smashes his claw through it, sticks his head in, and shouts, "Here's Bobby!" All right, so in the room, there are 2 bandits who we fought at the beginning. They're not particularly dangerous, these bandits, and they have 3 health. And in addition to that, they will be stealthing. And Bob did not stealth. Whoops, I didn't show you, but there's their roll of 7 plus 2, so they are stealthing with a 9. And let's go ahead and see if Bob sees them. Bob does. And let's see if Val sees them. She does, so that is good. And then we have the assassin. And I'm actually going to use another little character from my City of Kings here. And he has a health of 12. He's in the back there. Oh man, these bases are killing me today. But there we go. And he too starts stealth. And he has a stealth of 11. Let's see if Bob sees him. Bob does not. And Val definitely knows that he is there. Now, a couple of things before I kind of get fully into this that you need to know about the assassin. So the assassin has the ability to vanish, kind of smoke bombs the ground and can disappear. And every time more than one hero is adjacent to the assassin, he will vanish, immediately move to the furthest hero away and attack from stealth. So pretty much every single time this happens, I'm going to wind up getting hit potentially for double damage. Now luckily, he's only doing 2 damage per hit, so I'm confident that I will be okay, and he also wants to attack the hero with the lowest hit points, which right now, the lowest hit points right now is actually Bob, because Bob's a little beat up and I wasn't smart enough to take any of my potions. So we're going to start right here. Bob doesn't see the assassin. He's going to move straight forward. He gets +3 on this roll. That is a 10 versus Bob's defensive 3, 12. So he actually doesn't see it coming, but it clanks right off his armor. He is fine. Then these other 2 are going to go. This one's going to step up right here in front of Val. He's going to come at her, +2. Ooh, that's only a 5. Val has +2, which is a 6, so she defends. The other one can't get there, so it's going to go after Bob as well. Reroll that, it's cocked. That is a 7, 8, 9 versus Bob's defense of 10. So, all in all, that went really, really well. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to step back 1, 2, 3 with Val, and I'm going to try this Faces of Death spell again. I'm going to see if I can just get one of these bandits to just book it. Now, the bandits are a little bit stronger when it comes to their mind. They get +1, so it needs an 8 to resist. It got an 8. It resists. That was a wasted turn for that. And so Bob is going to just turn and try to just put down that bandit right there. And that is a 6. That's an 11. That does not defend. That is 4 damage. Boom. Just knocked that one flat up against the wall. It is down. Then, luckily for me, because of the way I've positioned myself, I think the bandit would move around over here. The assassin is not going to do a vanish because I stepped away. I'm kind of playing the tactics here. So we'll have the bandit go first. Ooh, that is a 10, 12. Bob needs a 9 to defend. Got it. The assassin attacks. That is a 8. Bob does not defend on that one, so Bob does take 2 more damage. putting Bob up to 9 damage. So Bob's about 50% down right now. Back to us. This time, I think again, I'm going to try that Finger of Death, Faces of Death again, because I just think that that's probably the best way to clear these guys out. So that is a 4 mind versus the 8 that this bandit needed. It saw it the first time. It thought, oh no, that's not real. But then it showed up again, and it just turned and books it. It is gone. It runs this way. It's going to go across this bridge here. Maybe it falls off the bridge. I don't know. I don't really care. And that takes care of that. Now I'm feeling pretty good about the rest of this fight. I feel like we have a very good chance of taking this guy down. So here comes Bob with his attack. That is a 14 versus the assassin's defense. Roll that again. That's an 11. Not enough. That is 4 damage right there to the assassin. So I'm feeling pretty good about this fight. And, you know, I know it doesn't say this what the assassin does, but it just doesn't make any sense to me that the assassin wouldn't do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a vanish. Just poof. It's going to come up right here behind Val. So it gets to end. I do think I still get a chance to see it before the hit comes. So here's its stealth roll. That is a 12 versus Val's ability. That's only a 10, so Val is going to be surprised by this. Here comes the attack. That is a 12. Val has a +2 on her defense. That's also a 12, so she does actually manage to, at the last second, hears it coming, and is able to dodge out of the way. Now, again, I'm going to have Val move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time, I'm just going to straight up blast him with a lightning bolt. Boom, right in the face. And the assassin only has a mind score of 0. So I'm here with +3. The assassin has a 0. So here we go. That is a 13 for me. The assassin cannot block it. So that is 2 more damage right to the assassin. Then Bob turned, charges. He's coming in with +5. That's a 14. Again, the assassin cannot defend against it. So that is 5 more damage. Puts us down for only 2 life left. Again, the assassin will do a vanish. It's going to pop up over here. Here's its stealth roll. That is a 6. That's a 9. Again, Val knows he's there. Here's his attack. It's only a 10. Again, Val is having none of it. Just dodges out of the way. I think we're going to let Bob finish it off as he charges straight up. Here he goes. And that is a 10. The assassin is unable to block it. That is just an easy boom, an easy kill. Down he goes. We are done. And then, as a reward, we search the bandit's chamber and we get 4 treasure cards. So, I got some blade venom, which I should have used, but I didn't. I had some more healing herbs, some more blade venom, and another death flower. So, lots of toys there. In addition to that, for finishing, I get 2 more skill points, which means I now have 5. And so potentially I can use that I could up one of my abilities with 5. 10 lets me up my health. And so I don't know what I'll do with it, and I'll figure that out later on. But there you have it. That is a quick, easy quest. Clearly, I should have started my heroes over completely from the beginning. It would have been a little bit more challenging. But that is okay. I do think this gives you a good idea of how this works. Again, so I'd made the choice not to explore this whole thing, and I had my reason why. I knew everything was there. The Kickstarter will have a quest book of a whole bunch of different quests. I will say that since I shot the preview video, until now, there have actually been several changes already made which addressed some of the quibbles that I had with the game. And so this playthrough here was significantly more enjoyable to me than the ones I did for the preview. So, anyhow, there you have it, folks. That is the the 2-character playthrough of EverWyrd Fantasy Gaming, one of the pre-made quests, not the dungeon dive. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.